It all starts with a good, accurate drawing, which is then transferred to the working surface, canvas or wooden board. But before actually transferring the drawing to the painting surface must be prepared. So I marked the dimensions of my future painting and cut a piece of canvas. After that, it needs to be toned. This process is called applying the imprimatur and is extremely important. The imprimatur is a layer of paint mixed with a solvent which is applied to get rid of the white color at the very beginning of the work and provide a medium tone. From this medium tone we can move both toward dark and toward light, which is extremely important for the painting. Please note that after applying the paint, you need to let it dry completely, and the sun can greatly help you to speed up this process. After it's dried completely, I transfer the drawing using special transferring paper. It's very convenient. And now begins the stage that creates the basis for the entire future painting. The old masters paid special attention to the stage and did it with great care. I'm talking about creating a brown underpainting. At this stage, earth tones are mainly used because they dry quickly. Burnt umber is perfect for this purpose, so I use it quite a lot. I use a white spirit-based solvent as a thinner, which significantly speeds up the drying time. What tasks does the artist set for him at this stage of work? We must create a monochrome image that contains all the information about the light and shadows of the future painting. In addition, we must fix the drawing so that we no longer have to think about it in the next stages. This is the great advantage of the multi-layer painting method. At each stage, only one, maximum two, tasks are solved, and the artist can fully concentrate on solving them. In the alla prima method, for example, we must immediately think about the composition, the drawing, the tonal relationships, the color, the tone, all these things, And it's not surprising that many fail, because it's very difficult. It's incredibly difficult when you have to solve so many complex tasks at the same time. Thus, we once again come to the conclusion that the so-called method of the old masters, despite its apparent complexity and time-consuming nature, is actually easier and more understandable to learn, because at each stage of work you only need to think about one task, only one task. Your brain is not overloaded, and this makes your chances of success much higher. So, if you are new to painting, I strongly recommend you to start your studies with this method. However, I have gone a little off the subject. Excuse me, let's get back to our underpainting. At this stage, I usually use two brushes. One to apply paint to the shadow areas of the painting, and the other, dry, I use for blending, just to create smooth transitions. You can watch this process right now. As you can see, I tried to be very careful and accurate, and I recommend that you approach this stage with the same precision. This will make your further work much easier, and believe me, you will thank yourself for it later. Don't rush, spend some time on this stage, and you will definitely not regret it, I promise. You can apply several layers of underpainting, gradually deepening the shadows and achieving even greater volume. This is how I am doing it now. After the first layer, I see that the image is still quite flat, so in some places I add just a little bit more paint, increasing the contrast between light and dark areas. When this part of the work is done, you need to let the painting dry completely again, and then you can move on to the next stage, working with white. Now I will continue working on the underpainting. I decided not to cut this part of the video because I know that some people might be interested in watching the entire process. For those who find this part of work maybe a little bit boring, feel free to skip it and start watching from the moment when I move on to the next stage. For this stage of work, I use titanium white because it's perfect for this task. It's thick, it's bright, it creates a perfect base for the next layers, so it's absolutely perfect, absolutely. I will now use linseed oil as a thinner. The goal of this stage is to make our image even more voluminous to achieve the maximum three-dimensional effect. I apply titanium white to the light areas and look how my painting immediately comes to life. We can now see the drama, see how the muscles fill out, see every curve of the form. The image becomes sculpture-like, and that's wonderful. That's exactly what we need. Remember at the beginning of this video when I talked about the importance of the imprimatur. Now you understand that if we were working on a white canvas, achieving this effect would be impossible. So it's really important to tone your canvas. Don't forget about this. It goes without saying that every artist has their own methods and techniques, and there is no universal method of the old masters. In general, when we talk about the so-called method of the old masters, we mean multi-layered painting. What I have shown you today is my interpretation. I have read a lot of materials on this topic, studied the paintings of outstanding artists of the past, tried to understand their techniques, their sequence of work, and as a result, I have developed this average scheme, which is, in my opinion, is very convenient and understandable. I am sharing it with you, and I really hope that this video was useful to you. If you have any questions, please write them in the comments below and I will be happy to answer all of them. If you like this video and if you are interested in classical painting, you can subscribe to my channel and watch other episodes on this topic. And now, I wish you all the best. Thank you for your time, for your attention, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.